Hey guys, it is Toad27 here, and I am here today with my top 5 favorite Pixar movies. This was originally going to be a top 10, but I've kind of grouped. What I did was kind of group the movies into their categories. Like Cars 1 and 2 would be considered Cars, so I mean it got a lot lower, and there's one or two Pixar movies I haven't seen, so I thought a top 5 would be a lot better way to do this. So, sorry it's not a top 10 that I promised, but it's a top 5. So, I hope you guys enjoy this, and let's get right on to number 5. So at number 5, I have The Good Dinosaur. So this movie was fairly good to me. There wasn't much wrong with it, really. The only couple things that were wrong with it was the plot was kind of predictable, especially since the trailers gave away a bit too much, it almost seemed. The plot was kind of predictable. It was kind of predictable what direction it would go. And also, it was released 2 years later than it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be released in 2014, I believe, but it was released in 2015, or it was released a year late, because there was supposed to be a Pixar movie every year, but The Good Dinosaur was scheduled back so that there was 2 Pixar movies in 2015 and no Pixar movies in 2014, I believe. So this doesn't make this movie a bad movie, though. Like, the art is beautiful for it. I definitely love the collector dude, the Triceratops. I like him. So, I definitely think this is a solid Pixar movie. On to number 4. At number 4, I have Inside Out. Now, this movie was a fabulous movie, the other movie that came out in 2015 for Pixar, along with The Good Dinosaur. This movie was great. I mean, there wasn't anything wrong with it, really. It was just, I mean, maybe not a perfect movie, but it was still good. Like, sometimes it was a bit odd, but all in all, it was a great movie, and that's why I've placed it so, out of the 18 Pixar movies, I've placed it at number 4. It's a fabulous entry in the Pixar series, and it just kind of, also something that it brings up that I really love is that sadness is necessary. Sadness may be hard, sadness may be tough, but sadness is necessary. I'm not necessarily talking about the person, but the emotion itself. Sadness. You need sadness to get over something. If you're sad about something, normally you get over it better after you're finished being sad. And that just kind of was a great thing that this movie had. So, yep. I feel like I'm being very stupid in this video, but let's just continue to number 3. So at number 3, I have Finding Dory, which is the most recent Pixar film released, and that's why I wanted to wait to do my top 5 favorite Pixar films until this movie, because I thought it would be great, and it was great. Now, I feel like a lot of you are going to say, oh, you just like the new movies better. I mean, yes, Mr. Nostalgic Commenter. I do think I'd like the new movies because I've grown up with them more. Like, people grew up with the NES or the N64. I grew up with the Wii, so therefore I like the Wii better. It's kind of that way. I mean, I'm not saying the old movies are bad at all. My next 2 are movies that came out, Pixar movies that came out at least 5 years ago. So, but let's get on to Finding Dory, because I got sidetracked because I was thinking somebody would comment oh, you just like the new ones. Finding Dory was great. It was just, it felt like such a good sequel to Finding Nemo. I do think this one is slightly better, but I mean, nothing is wrong with Finding Nemo either. I can't really point out any flaws. I love all the new characters introduced. The one thing that kind of was just with me was Hank just seemed so angry and not nice, really. I'm not saying he has to be all sunshine and rainbows, but I mean, he just seemed very cruel and not... He didn't seem like a Pixar person normally is. So, yeah. I mean, this movie was still great. I love Destiny and the other whale dude introduced. They're great, and just this movie in general is great. And I love the ending to it, so... let's move on to number 2. And at my number 2 is Up. This movie was fabulous to me. I loved every part of this movie. It was amazing to me. The characters were great. The story was great. And I think just everything in general about this movie was great. I loved the love story between Carl and Ellie, I believe. I haven't watched this movie in a bit, so if I get that name wrong, I apologize. Um, Carl and Ellie, I believe, and it's just sad to see him lost, and then, after Carl's loss, you see him come out of his shell again, which is kind of nice. And it almost feels like he has a son now, the child he never had with Russell. And it just feels so complete, and the dogs are hilarious. They're hilarious. Squirrel! Uh-huh. So yeah, this movie was great. Now on to my honorable mentions. So my honorable mentions is kind of just pretty much all Pixar movies. Some I would like to specifically mention are Finding Nemo, Ratatouille, excuse me, Toy Story in general. I think all three are great. So, I think that's kind of all my honorable mentions. There wasn't really certain ones that I had. So, on to number 1. My number 1 is Wally. I love this movie. I love everything about it, that it doesn't really use dialogue, but it still tells. The main characters don't speak, but it still tells such an amazing story. So, I love all the characters in this movie. They all feel unique and different. It's just amazing to see this, and I love this movie, and it's great. It's my favorite Pixar movie, so that's kind of all I have to say about it. So I guess thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!